The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Shady Rays. SGPN is teaming up with Shady Rays for Shady May. Get 50% off your Shady Rays using the promo code SGPN. Then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win $500. We're also brought to you by our Kentucky Derby contest. The winner gets a $100 SGPN gift card exclusively on the SGPN app. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Thursday, May the 4th. I have got an excellent May the 4th joke that I'm going to slip in the next hour, and I can't wait. Oh, you're going to fall off your chair, Munaf. Yeah, I can see you're already excited. Top class joke this is, so be prepared for that, everybody. I promise you it's worth it. And we got a full slate for Friday, May the 5th of MLB action. Joining us first up is the OG, Mr. Munaf Manji. Munaf, how you doing?
What the hell was that wave that you had at the beginning? You're like, hi, everyone. What the hell was that?
It was, it was flamboyant. We're getting more viewers now, so it's nice to be visually entertaining as well as good looking.
Okay, well, just making sure. I'd never seen that before of all the pods that we've done, but good to be here. Another great schedule for Friday. Can't wait to dig in with you boys.
And from somewhere in New Jersey, Mr. D-Rock. D-Rock, did the New Jersey Cat Devils get beat last night?
Oh man, did they ever? They got hosed. They got it just looked bad. Don't want to talk about that, but may the 4th be with you, Malcolm.
I don't know what's worse, the Devils losing or the Mets getting swept.
I know what's worse. I know what's worse.
Oh, that hurts.
I know what's been better for my bank balance. Yeah, I feel like did okay last night. So yesterday, we got the Mets beaten twice. Faded Kyle Gibson. We gave him the old man fade. And then my luck was 7-0 up after half an inning, so I could go to bed. Knowing that I can wake up with a winner. So this afternoon, the day's ball, it's been mildly chaotic, and it's also been kind of profitable as well. We took Erod, and we didn't fade Verlander, but we just wanted to take Erod, I think, for the Tigers, and JV gave up those 2 first inning bombs, and that was it. That was all the scoring. So they won 2-0. The Angels won as a dog. We took those, fading Jack Flaherty. The Angels made a meal of it, as they always do, actually. But at one point in that game, they were 11-2 in front. Hit the post a little bit with the Pirates, and then everyone's live sweating stuff. I need the White Sox, and I need the Orioles. Oh, the Orioles got the bases loaded. Orioles on the run line. So if someone Malcolm, can keep you posted. Yes.
Real quick, is your 2 weeks done fading the White Sox?
We announced it last night. We made a huge, and I backed them last night. Munaf he fell off his little stool there. We backed them at what price were they? Plus 120.
I took them first five as well.
Because I'm sweating the Twins right now on the money line, and I'm like, because 2 weeks is still going on for me, Malcolm.
Yeah, well, you were just a few days too late to the party, Dylan. But I'm over the moon with that. So if anyone can in the chat can keep me posted on those scores and see if I can cash a few more tickets. I cashed in the football tonight. I took the under 2.5 goals in the Man United Brighton game. That finished 1-0 to Brighton, so over the moon. Loads of people joining in and chirping on. Jake's here, the captain in Sino, obviously. Riley. Is Riley our favourite Canadian? I think he might be. Riley's joined us to say hello as well. So yeah, loads of stuff to get to. Tell you what we'll do first is we'll tell you about the good people at Shady Rays and Shady May. Shady Rays teaming up with SGPN for Shady May. You get an amazing 50% off. We can have a chance to win $500. Shady Rays have got you covered from the sun to the slopes with their premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and plenty more really durable stuff as well. They will replace any lost or broken pairs, no questions asked. So you can wear them with confidence, get up to anything you like. If you don't love them, they'll exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. Go to shadyrays.com, use the code SGPN for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses then take your receipt to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win the Shady May contest. Okay, we will start tomorrow with a 2:20 Eastern first pitch, just one day's fall event tomorrow. It is the Miami Marlins at the Chicago Cubs, where Edward Cabrera pitches for Miami, and Justin Steele, left-handed pitcher, friend of the show, goes for the Chicago Cubs. Miami are plus 142. The Cubs are minus 165. Total is set at 9. Cabrera 2-2 on the year with a 4.67 ERA. He's got really similar lines. He's given up at least kind of 2 earned runs in each start. He walked too many batters last time up, and he's given up some homers as well. He did pitch last time out at home against the Cubs in a game that Miami won 7-6, and went to Wrigley last year once and pitched 5 scoreless. So Cabrera goes there not without hope tomorrow. But we just love what Steele's been doing. We've backed him just about every time. I think he started this year. He's 4-0 on the year, has a 1.49 ERA. Did lose 4-3 at Miami last time. I think he was a little bit unlucky. He's got a 0.52 home ERA. That's the key stat in all of this. When I handicapped this, I hadn't seen the prices. I've got the Cubs down to win. Minus 165 might be a little bit too short. But the Cubs on the run line doesn't really bother me. I watched Miami last night. They're still not. They put up a few runs against Atlanta, but I just don't trust this offense at all. So yeah, give me the Cubs on the run line behind another good start from Steele, please, Munaf.
Yeah, the Marlins will be traveling from Miami to Chicago. They're playing Atlanta today. But yeah, Justin Steele on the mound, man. That's been my guy this season. He's 4-0 with a 1.49 ERA. 2 starts for Cabrera on the road. 0-2 with a 6.00 ERA. And like you mentioned, Mally, he did face the Cubbies at home in his last start. They actually have 12 strikeouts in that game in 5 innings. So he's given up at least 2 earned runs in every single one of the starts. And he hasn't made it past the 5th inning in 5 out of the 6 starts so far this season. So I'm going to trust Justin Steele at home. Take a run line in the first 5 innings for the Chicago Cubs. That price is not out yet. But I will be back in the Cubs here in this game against the Marlins.
Baltimore have got it. Well, they haven't quite got it done, but they've taken a 12-9 lead. Great news, Dylan. What have you got for the Marlins at the Cubs?
Yeah, I agree with the run line with the Cubs. I actually like the over 9 in this one. I made my total 10.3. So Justin Steele, he's been great this season, but I'm just going to fade the Marlins and Edward Cabrera. Like Munaf said, 6-0 ERA on the road, 8 runs given up on 11 hits. And now he's going up against a top 5 offense. I just think this could be a really bad start for him. On the other hand, I think the Marlins can contribute a few runs. I know Justin Steele's been really good, but they're hitting 299 off of lefties. We have winds blowing out in Wrigley as well. So love the Cubs on the run line, but I do like the over as well.
Next up, 6:35 Eastern first pitch is the Toronto Blue Jays at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chris Bassett for Toronto, and it's Dick Mountain Day. Rich Hill, left-handed pitcher, goes for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Minus 150 for the Blue Jays, plus 120 for Pittsburgh. Total is at 8.5. We'll head straight back to D-Rock for this one.
Yeah, another total for me. I like the over 8.5. I made my total 8.8. I really wanted to back the Pirates here, depending on the number we were getting, but I needed a plus 150 or higher to take the Buccos. Both have really good offenses. Blue Jays hit lefties really well, 278 batting average. Toronto on the road, 10-8 toward the over, including going over in every game against the Red Sox in the last series. You could tack on a few runs for both Hill and Bassett, in my opinion. So we have winds blowing out again over here at PNC. So I'm going to be on another over here, 8.5.
Okay, over for Dylan. Munaf?
I do like the Blue Jays team total over in this game. We take a look at Chris Bassett last season against the against the Pirates. When he was with the Mets, he was really good for the Mets in that situation. I think it was 2-0 with a 0.69 ERA. Blue Jays, the bats have been hot. I think that they'll be able to get to Rich Hill in this game. So I'm gonna back the Blue Jays bats here. Give me the team total over, and then also I'll back Chris Bassett as well. I like the Blue Jays in this game as well.
Yeah, I like the Blue Jays. It's kind of a unit and a half play. Chris Bassett's kind of 4 decent starts in a row. Rich Hill, 4 decent starts in a row, but those last 3 have been against Washington, Cincinnati, and Colorado. I think his luck could run out tomorrow, as well as Pittsburgh have been playing. But yeah, they could drop one tomorrow here. So I'll take the unit and a half play on the Blue Jays. New face in the chat, CD Matthews. Good evening. Welcome. Yeah, very welcome from Memphis, Tennessee. Lane's in there as well. Always nice to see some new faces, names. Where we go next? We'll go 6:40 Eastern. Chicago White Sox at the Cincinnati Reds. Lance Lynn for the White Sox and Hunter Green takes the ball for Cincinnati. It's a match on the books, -110 each of 2, and a total set at 8.5. Munaf.
Yeah, Lance Lynn has just been terrible to start the season. 0-4 with a 7.16 ERA over his last 3 games. Has stayed consistent. 0-3, 7.02 ERA. He's been atrocious in Chicago. Does head to the road here where he's 0-1 with a 4.86 ERA. But you kind of just go through his game log. The White Sox have lost every single one of his starts this season. He's allowed at least 4 earned runs in 4 of the last 5 starts. I think that the Reds can get to him here a little bit with the way that he has been pitching. You check out Hunter Green. I mean, he's been actually pretty good so far this season. He hasn't allowed more than 3 earned runs in any of his starts so far this season. And over his last 3 starts, he's actually, despite not having a win, 14 innings pitched, he's only allowed 1 earned run in those games. He has a 0.64 ERA. So I think we do have the better pitcher on the mound here. It seems like Hunter Green has found his form here a little bit. We know the strikeouts are there. And last season, it was just the fact of him, locating his fastball and getting command on his pitches. I'm going to go with Hunter Green and the Reds here. I have the better pitcher here. I'm going to continue fading Lance Lynn.
100% agree with you, Munaf, for the same reasons, really. I think this is a good chance for Hunter Green and Cincinnati to get a win over Lance Lynn. The White Sox have just come off their first series win of the year, taking down the Twins. They're making hard work of pushing a run over the line in extras as we speak. Yeah, I was happy to take them tonight, but I think this is a better spot. Cincinnati are going to win some games, and with Hunter Green on the hill for them, that's their best chance. It's a fair price as well. I don't mind that price of -110. Next up is a 6:40 Eastern.
I'll take the
hit
Reds.
Me, sorry. Did I ignore you? Sorry, Dylan.
It's all good. I'll take
I'm too busy sweating these bets out, but I haven't got Munaf's tennis ball eyes. I'm having to keep flicking between little tabs on my laptop, and I'm not very good at stuff like that. 6:40 Eastern is the New York Yankees at the Tampa Bay Rays. Johnny Brito for the Yankees. Now, 4 hours ago, I had Yonny Chirinos pitching for Tampa Bay. Now, that's officially TBD now. Either you two boys got any thoughts on that?
I see TBD as well. I don't know if Dylan sees something else.
Yeah, I see TBD, but I saw Johnny Brito.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stick with Chirinos if Munaf co-signing that. Johnny Brito 2-3. There's no lines on this, by the way, with Tampa being officially TBD, but I can tell you about bits and bobs that are going on. Johnny Brito 2-3, 5.56 ERA. He's been really inconsistent. He's got one bad start to his name. His last 3 have been okay. Just hard to know what to get. And the Yankees, they snapped their losing streak, but they're still not scoring a load of runs. They've lost the most days to the IL than any other team in MLB so far this season. And when you take, obviously, Judge, Stanton, whoever else, Bader came back last night and then exited again after a 3-man pile-up in the outfield. The manager reckons he might be okay, but just the bottom half of that order is just a little bit of a mess at the moment. I like Yoni Chirinos. He's been used as a piggyback pitcher coming in after an opener. It looks like he's going to actually open this one. So you'll get 3 or 4 innings out of him. He's only given up 1 run. Ground ball pitcher. I think you have to trust him. And Tampa Bay Rays have been fine in their bullpen games so far this season. They're 16-2 at home. The Yankees have scored 81 fewer runs than Tampa in this 32-game stretch. I mean, that's bordering on 3 runs per game. It's absolutely incredible. So, yeah, no prices, but I think Tampa Ray first 5, and I think Tampa Bay Rays on the run line here. Munaf?
Yeah, Rays for me as well. Like you mentioned, I don't know where you're going to get out of the Yankees this season. Like, there's games where their offense shows up, and there's more games where they don't show up. And I think you mentioned the stat that the Rays are 16-2 at home. So, yeah, I'll on some shape or form, I'm going to be on the Rays here as well.
D-Rock for the Yankees.
Yeah, team ride up. I don't know how you can fade the Rays at this point right now, especially at home. Maybe an under team. Rays not playing a lot of overs at this point. Yankees are an under machine right now. So maybe look under depending on the price. But yeah, I can't back the Yankees here right now. I wanted to ask you guys real quick before we move ahead. What did you think of Wander Franco's play? His little flashy play. I thought it was pretty cool.
It doesn't bother me at all, shit like that. At the end of the day, the only person he can damage doing that is himself. Like, if he drops it, makes a bit of a tit of himself, and could cost them a run or what have you. But other than that, he can't, like you say, there's nothing, he can't damage the other team. Or, I don't get any of this. I'm 4,000 miles away. About 5 times a year, all you people have this crazy unwritten rule argument, and the whole thing just baffles me to death. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, any of you.
I'm surprised Malcolm didn't say I do this on a weekly basis when he pays for the Newcastle Nighthawks on his game.
Oh, I do all the tricks. I'll throw in a cartwheel, backflip, shit like that, because I'm tagging people out. You name it. I've got all the tricks.
I love it. I think we need more of it in baseball, to be honest.
I don't think he did it on purpose. He said he does it in field and practice all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it was just instinct. I don't think he gave it a second thought. I don't think he thought, I'm going to do this thing, and it's either going to be fun or disrespectful. I think he just did it. And like you say, who cares? Like,
and it's one thing if he's not performing. The guy's hitting over 300. He's 22 years old. Like, the sky's the limit for the kid, I feel like. So, love it.
Yeah, agree. 7:05 Eastern first pitch. The Boston Red Sox at the Philadelphia Phillies. Chris Sale, left-handed pitcher, goes for Boston. And Zach Wheeler is the starter for Philadelphia. Boston are plus 120. The Phillies are minus 150, and the total is set at 7.5. And we'll pass this one to Dylan.
Yeah, this game was tough to handicap because, how can you not back the Red Sox at this point right now? 7-3 in their last 10. They're playing really good baseball. They swept a very good Blue Jay team. And I kind of like the over in this one, 7.5. Usually I'm on the under. I'm an under better, but a lot of these games I bet the over today. Over 8 or 8.5. I made my total 8.7. Red Sox overs have been very profitable. 22-10 on the year, 9-4 toward the over on the road. You got 2 top 5 lineups. I think the Phillies can score some runs on Sale. He hasn't pitched the best on the road either, so I'm going to fade him, but I'm not going to fade both of these teams' bats, so give me the over in this one.
Okie doke, Munaf, for your Red Sox.
Yeah, this was one of the tougher games to handicap. Like Dylan mentioned, that Chris Sale has gotten into trouble on the road this season, right? Whereas ERA is currently at, just had in front, give me a second here, 8.36. He's allowed 13 earned runs and 14 innings pitched on the road so far this season. So I feel like the bats can get to Chris Sale here of the Phillies. If you want to look at a Phillies first 5 team total or a full game over as well. I think Zach Wheeler, we talked about this early in the season that, him and Aaron Nola maybe feeling that taxation of that, the World Series run last year. And, they got off to a slow start. But I think that we'll see some positive regression for them soon. But yeah, for me, I would probably look at the over as well. Lean to the Phillies, but nothing official. But I do like the over call there by Dylan.
I've been in on Chris Sale all year. Well, so I was in on the start of the season. I was expecting good things. I've been watching him kind of closely. Two of his last three have been good, and it looks to me like he's getting it together. Much better last time. Masataka Yoshida is on a nice little tear for Boston, a 13-game hit streak. And I'm just a little bit unconvinced by the Phillies. I'm going to take a little gamble. Sometimes you've backed a player so much that I have to take him in this spot. So, yeah, I've got no problem really with it. Boston behind a good start from Chris Sale, who's getting it together. I will take the dog at a price of plus 120. I'll write that down right now. Okay, next we go in. Back to the top left. It's the 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the Colorado Rockies and the New York Mets. Antonio Senzatella takes the ball for Colorado on debut for the season. And Kodai Senga goes for the Mets, plus 210 on the Rockies, minus 300 on New York. Total is set at 7.5. Munaf.
Yeah, Senzatella's first start this season, like you mentioned. Last season he was 3-7 with a 5.07 ERA. 19 starts last season for the Rockies. He gave up 52 earned runs and 92 and 1/3 innings pitched. So wasn't very good, to say the least. Kodai Senga got off to a great start in his first two starts, which were against the Marlins, but walks are a huge issue for Kodai Senga. He's allowed at least 3 walks in every single one of his starts this season. He's allowed 4 walks in 3 straight starts to the opposition. Now the offense has been able to carry the Mets in those games. He did lose his last start against the Washington Nationals. He did pitch a decent game in that outing where he went 5 innings, allowed only 2 earned runs. But that game he didn't get the run support from the Mets. Man, I'm not sure if I can get behind the Mets right now with how bad they played against Detroit in Detroit. I know Colorado has been bad as well, but I think this is too big of a price for me to bet on a guy that has, control issues right now with all the walks that he's giving up as well. And so I would probably look at a over in this game. I think that maybe there's some rust for Senzatella in this game. Dealing with the pitch clock, his first start of the season. We saw Verlander kind of struggle with that, where he gave up 2 home runs in the first inning. So Mets team total over first 5 or full game if you want to dice it up that way. I think Colorado can, score a couple here as well. So I think I'm more comfortable with the Mets team total to go over than laying that big price with the Mets here on the money line.
Yeah, this was a horrible game to handicap because the prices weren't particularly appealing. You've got a prohibitive favourite. So then you're trying to find an angle in. And none of the angles were really very attractive, apart from runs, because you're just giving yourself more chance of getting a win. Either Senzatella hasn't got it, or the Rockies can contribute a few on Senga. The Mets pitching, they're averaging, the starting pitching hasn't reached an average of 5 innings per start, which is a huge problem because then that pushes onto the bullpen and it just makes everything a little bit more wobbly. Scherzer and Verlander hopefully will be able to help with that. So yeah, we'll have to see. But other than a few runs getting scored tomorrow, this was hard, Dylan. Your New York Mets, tell us something positive.
I can't. I don't know how anyone should lay. I can't lay minus 240, let alone minus $2 with the Mets right now. They stink. They just got swept by the Tigers. They can't score a run to save their lives. Their pitching, like you mentioned, is atrocious. It's putting strain on the bullpen. It's a 500 team right now. They're not good at all. I can't back them in good faith. Rockies, they've won 3 in a row. Honestly, I could see them beating the Mets tomorrow. So I'm not going to be on the Mets. It's still windy and cold over here, but I do agree with Munaf on the over. That's the only thing I'd really play. I made my total 8.7. So I think Kodai Senga, like he mentioned, started good. Walks are a big issue for him. Gets him into trouble. Pitch count goes up. Puts our bullpen in more stress. I like the over here.
The Rockies have just come from 4 behind to take the lead over the Brewers in the bottom of the 8th. So putting a little charge together. I took Rockies first 5, obviously. So lost that and still going to win the game. So yeah, right team, wrong bet. Underdog Fantasy, Best Ball Mania 4 is here. And Underdog Fantasy is giving away $15 million in prizes, plus plenty of ways to win with NBA, NHL, and MLB with their player prop parlays. Head over to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And for Kentucky Derby Week on the Notorious OTB podcast, which is brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, all your Triple Crown bets will be on there. Plus, leave a review for the show wherever you get your podcasts. Between now and Belmont Saturday, June the 10th, you'll be entered into a draw to win a canvas print of the Wolves' one-of-a-kind fallen Bob painting. And we've got a bonus contest exclusively on the SGPN app. The winner gets a $100 SGPN gift card. I have just today published the Kentucky Derby article, so go and find that over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. And in the last hour or so, recorded a Derby podcast with Sean and Ryan and the Wolf of Oakland, which was A, loads of fun, and B, had all the winners in there as well. So if you want some winners for Saturday, Friday and Saturday, actually, we picked some winners for, then that's the place to find all of those things. We will crack on with the 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians. Bailey Ober goes for Minnesota, and Peyton Battenfield, we like him, for the Cleveland Guardians. It's another match on the books, -110 each of 2, with a total set at 8.5. Munaf, books can't split them. Can you?
Yeah, Bailey Ober's had a pretty good start here for the Twins. 11 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's only allowed 2 earned runs. I know it's come against some of the weaker offenses, which was the Nationals and the Royals, but he got the job done for the Twins in those 2 starts. Last season, or over the last 2 seasons, I should say, he has faced the Guardians 3 times, 15 innings pitched in total, and he's only allowed 4 earned runs in that span. He did face them one time last season in September, 5 shutout innings, only allowed 1 hit to the Cleveland Guardians in that game. The Guardians have lost all 4 of Peyton Battenfield's starts so far this season. He's allowed at least 3 earned runs in 2 straight starts, and another pitcher that has some walk issues. He's allowed a total of 11 walks over his last 3 starts, and over the last 2 games, he's allowed 4 walks each. So I think definitely you have the better pitcher here with the Minnesota Twins. I'm going to back the Twins here. Bailey Ober should be able to continue his stellar pitching to start the season. Has pretty good history against the Guardians as well. I could see this being a low-scoring game, but I do think that the Twins could sneak out like a 3-1, 4-2 type of victory here. So I'll take the Twins, and I do like the under in this game as well.
Okay, Twins for Munaf, Dylan.
100% agree. Everything. I like the under. I made my total 7.9, and I like the Twins. I made them a -125 favorite. I don't want to back the Guardians right now. 4-8 at home. They've lost 4 of their last 5. And Munaf mentioned as well, Guardians, they've lost every start Battenfield has made. I just trust the better pitcher in this spot. Twins just went up 4-2, by the way, in extras. So going to back the better offense, I think, as well. I'll take the Twins here as well.
Well, that's gravely disappointing news. Yeah, team right. Get your horns out. I like Bailey Ober. And I think Peyton Battenfield has got a disaster incoming at some point soon. So quite possibly could be tomorrow. I'll take Minnesota at -110. 7:20 Eastern first pitch. The Baltimore Orioles at the Atlanta Braves. Dean Kramer for Baltimore and Max Fried, left-handed pitcher, goes for the Braves. +170 on the Orioles, -225 on Atlanta. The total is set at 8.5. I think last night, was it last night or was it the night before? Let me check my notes here. Baltimore shut out for the first time this season. I think that was last night. Dean Kramer has had 4 bad starts from 5. And a couple of those have been against Oakland and Detroit. So I think this is really quite a bad spot for Dean Kramer. He's 2-1 on the year, has a 6.67 ERA. Yeah, Baltimore were shut out. It was last night. Yes, it was the Kyle Gibson. It was the old guy fade. It worked, even though it was another old guy, Zach Greinke, who beat him. So, yeah, we handicapped that one half to death. So, yeah, Baltimore coming off their first shutout of the season. We did handicap Max Fried last night. They've obviously shuffled around their starting pitching. He's 2-0 on the year with a 0.45 ERA. And frankly, he's unopposable in this spot. Fried, Ozzy Albies is doing all right. He's hit 9 bombs, is now leading the Braves in home runs, so he could carry on in his set. But yeah, price is prohibitive. I'll enter on the run line for me, please, Munaf.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Max Fried was supposed to pitch on Thursday. I think they pushed him back to Friday now. But we talked about it yesterday. He's been in really good form for the Atlanta Braves. One thing that really stuck out to me about Max Fried is against American League teams, 9-1 with a 1.54 ERA, 73 strikeouts and 12 appearances against American League teams. You have the better pitcher on the mound. You have the better offense as well. I agree with you, Braves run line for me as well.
Dylan, is this consecutive team rights?
I do like the Braves run line, but I like the over better. I got an 8, but I still like the 8.5 over. I made my line 8.9. Both have been very good over teams in the season. 17-12 toward the over for the Orioles. Braves 18-12 toward the over. 11-3 at home toward the over. 2 top 5 offenses, and I like the way the Orioles have been swinging the bat. I know they got shut out, but 13 runs they came back with today. I think they'll have some success against Fried. I know he's been good, but Braves, they're definitely going to score 4 or 5 runs off of Kramer. So I like the over, and I do agree with the run line on the Braves.
Randy McFarland's in the chat, asking if we're fading the White Sox again. Yeah, you missed the White Sox handicap. It was a team ride on Cincinnati on the money line, especially after the White Sox are, as we speak, costing me money by blowing a lead against the Minnesota Twins and not being able to push a run over twice in the bottom of extra innings. 8:10 Eastern first pitch is the Oakland Athletics against the Kansas City Royals. Yes, bum fight. Left-handed pitcher Kyle Muller goes for Oakland and Brad Keller goes for Kansas City. Lines plus 120 for the A's, minus 150 on Kansas City. Total set at 8.5. Dylan, do your worst. What do you think of this?
Oh, man, what a game. You're never going to guess it. Give me another over. I like the over 9. I made my total 9.8. I didn't want to back either team in this situation, but if you were to ask me, gun to my head, I probably would lean Royals. I did make them a minus 150 favorite, but I'd rather fade both pitchers, especially Kyle Muller. The A's lost both of his starts on the road. He has an ERA of 10 on the road. I don't want to back him or the A's in this spot. The Royals have scored some runs this past week. We saw them in a shootout today with the Orioles. I think they'll be able to take advantage of Muller on the road. The A's on the season 21-10 towards the over. We got winds blowing out, 10-mile-an-hour winds to left field as well. So I'm usually an under better, but I found myself on a lot of overs tomorrow. So give me the over 9.
Okay, Munaf.
Yeah, Keller has just been really bad. He's one of another pitchers that has issues with walks. Last 3 starts, he's allowed, let's see, here's that 16 walks he's given up to the opposition in his last 3 starts. That's over 13 in third innings pitched. He did have a good start against Minnesota in his last start where he did go 5 1/3, only allowed 1 earned run. But when you have 2 bad teams and 2 bad pitchers, I agree with Dylan. You just want to look at the over. The Royals, I know this season have been really bad offensively, but they do better against left-handed pitching. So I think I'm not putting money on either one of these pitchers. I'm just going to root for runs as well.
I quite like KC in this sport. Noah keeps talking to me about Keller and convinced me that we should leave him on our TGFBI team. So I think Keller will be happy to be back at home. Muller is unbackable. And the Oakland A's have a run differential of minus 21 on the road. The last 8 road games, that's plenty good enough for me for a KC or money line. I obviously feel a little bit better about KC having backed him to win last night. So that's probably edging me towards being a bit more maverick here. And we'll see if we can't get another one tomorrow on the run line. 8:15 Eastern first pitch is the Detroit Tigers at the St. Louis Cardinals. Matt Boyd, left-handed pitcher, goes for Detroit. And Jordan Montgomery, lefty, goes for St. Louis Cardinals. Lines are plus 200 for Detroit with Boyd, minus 230 for St. Louis with Montgomery, and a total set at 8.5. Munaf, how do you feel about taking minus 230 about the St. Louis Cardinals?
Boy, I see why they are minus 230, but I can't put my money on a team that is absolutely just struggling right now for wins. We talked about it at the top of the show, how they just got dismantled by the Angels today. But kind of looking into the numbers, Montgomery, there was a picture that we discussed earlier, Mal, today, that his ERA is inflated because of one bad start. Jordan Montgomery falls into that category as well. He's been pretty good this season for the Cardinals. It's just that one start against the Diamondbacks where he allowed 7 earned runs, which is making his ERA just skyrocket. But other than that, he's been pretty solid for the Cardinals. Now, unfortunately, the Cardinals have lost 4 straight starts when he has started. And they've, in 3 out of those 4 starts, they didn't give him any run support. So I think that's number one, a concern for the Cardinals. And then you take a look at Matthew Boyd. He hasn't been very good either on the season, 1-2 with a 5.47 ERA. The Tigers have actually won 3 out of his 5 starts. The whole thing that kind of stuck off to the jump off the page to me is I believe it's either interleague games or road games is that where the Tigers have accumulated most of their wins, if I'm not mistaken. But Boyd in his last start, he allowed 6 earned runs to the Baltimore Orioles. And then you kind of look at what these teams have done against left-handed pitching thus far this season. Detroit, they're kind of middle of the pack, number 17 as far as WRC plus against left-handed pitching. St. Louis is number 7 as well in that category against left-handed pitching. Team batting average, the Cardinals against left-handed pitching are number 9. So they're top 10 in a lot of the categories. I'm going to back the Cardinals team total here. I just can't get behind this team as far as a winning game. I know there's another stat out there that the Cardinals, I think, are 0-10 or 0-11 in the first game of a series this season. So I'll just root for runs. The Cardinals bat to wake up a little bit against Matthew Boyd. Yeah,
that was my best stat of last night, Munaf, and I wasted it last night because it actually applies to this one. Yeah, they've lost 10 series openers in a row. They've lost 5 games in a row. They've had the worst start since 1973. And I like Boyd. I don't know why, but I like him. You can't back St. Louis at this price. You'd be mad. Give me Detroit at plus 200. They keep winning. Dylan.
Yeah, I don't usually do this, but I think there's some value here on the Tigers plus 1.5. Tigers playing some good baseball right now, or the Mets are just that bad. But I still can't back the Cardinals, especially over $2 with them. They just got swept again by the Angels. They've lost 6 in a row. Their bats have picked up a little bit, but Tigers 16-13 against the run line. They hit lefties decently, so I'll take a shot here with the Tigers plus 104 on the run line.
9:38 Eastern first pitch is the Texas Rangers at the LA Angels. Texas officially TBD. I believe it's Dane Dunning who will take the ball for the Rangers. Tyler Anderson, left-handed pitcher, goes for the Angels. No lines as a result of this. I can take you through Dane Dunning, 2-0, 177 ERA. This will be his first start. He's pitched 20 innings out of the pen, hasn't given up any homers. You'll get 3 or 4 innings out of him tomorrow. Tyler Anderson was better last time at Milwaukee after 3 bad starts, and he has generally been better on the road. Yeah, tricky. Texas pen blew it last night against Arizona, and now I don't know what Texas not playing this evening as we speak.
No,
No. So they've got a day to recover because they're going to be needed in this one. This is really tricky. I think the Angels are more reliable at home. They've won again tonight. The Texas Pen might have some recovery time, but equally they have been working hard lately. I'll take the LA Angels, but obviously we've got no lines. Munaf, Texas are going well. Josh Jung's been absolutely raking Munaf. Yeah. He's making an early bid for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, the bats have been really good for the Rangers, even without Corey Seager. Why are you so frustrated?
That was my joke. Right, I warned you at the top of the show, Munaf. I had the great May the 4th joke. You had to pay attention. You had to watch for it. I've just thrown out Josh Young could be Rookie of the Year, and you have not reacted even a little bit.
I don't get the reference.
I don't get it.
You don't know what a Wookiee is?
What?
Could someone in the chat get into this? Oh my goodness, this is worse than the Fig Jam situation from the other day.
Oh, that was bad.
God, okay.
I told my parents about that, and they were disgusted with me.
Right, you carry on. Someone is going to get in the chat and save me. That is an incredible joke. That might be the.
I thought you said Rookie of the Year, but you said Rookie of the Year.
Me too.
So do you know Chewbacca?
Yeah, of course.
Well, he's a Wookiee.
Yeah. Okay, well,
right. So why is it?
My head.
Unbelievable.
You can't.
I don't know why I bother sometimes, honestly.
I'm trying to focus here, trying to find winners for our listeners, and you're stupidly throwing in these jokes that are going over my head. I'm trying to focus here. But yeah, okay, I got it.
I'm too cross to talk to you.
Then now when you explain it, I get it. Okay, but yes, the offense has been really good for the Texas Rangers. I think another, and we've talked about this a lot, is that this feels like this AL West division is really up for grabs right now. The Astros are reeling a little bit. The Mariners have been kind of up and down. The Rangers have a 1-game lead over the Angels right now. So this is a big series early on in this season if it comes down to tiebreakers and things like that. Dane Dunning has been going along pretty well this season. I think he's been coming out of the bullpen if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to go with the Angels here at home as well. I think their offense has been doing really well. Ohtani, obviously with Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, Taylor Ward has been really good for them as well. So I'm going to trust the Angels here at home with Tyler Anderson. What do you think about the Wookiee of the Year there, Dylan?
Oh, Josh Jung, yeah, the kid's raking so far. I think he's batting 275 right now. So kid's on fire. But as for the game, I really want to I'm seeing Nathan Eovaldi going, so that's why I really don't know. But Nathan
I had Dunning earlier as well. But yeah, it's up to, I think it's still TBD.
It's still TBD. So Tyler Anderson, he's okay, but at home, Angels have been raking. Maybe an Angels team total over. Kind of like that as well. I could see some runs, 19-10 toward the over for the Rangers. So I kind of like the over here, depending on the number.
Mel looks so disappointed right now. He's just
honestly, I'm crestfallen is what I am. That's the word. Captain Sano's, I think, got the joke. And rightly pointed out, Munaf, that you do look part Wookiee. Honestly, I can't. I was being so excited about that for about 8 hours. I don't know what to do with myself.
Jesus.
Really, I give it the big build-up. Yeah, 9:40 Eastern. Shut up. We'll pretend it never happened. The Washington Nationals at the Arizona Diamondbacks, where JoJo Gray will take the ball for Washington, and Merrill Kelly goes for Arizona. Plus 152 for Washington, minus 175 for the Snakes. Total is set at 8.5. I will say hello to Josh in the chat because I like saying hello to new people, and then we'll throw this Washington v Arizona game to Dylan.
Yeah, hey, finally a game I like the under. 8.5 under at even money. I'll take that. I made my line 7.5. JoJo Gray, man, he's been great this season, especially on the road. 153 ERA, 3 runs given up in 17 innings. I think he could have some success against the D-backs. And with Merrill Kelly going for the Snakes, all 3 starts at home for him have gone under the number. Nationals winners of 4 of their last 5, but they are just 3-7 toward the over. So not a lot of scoring for them, but they are winning close games at plus money. I'll take a shot on the under 8.5 here.
Okay, under 8.5. I'll chirp in there because I kind of dressed this up the same, but took a first 5 under. I do like Josiah Gray. It's no secret. I think he can go well. And Merrill Kelly, he's just really boring. But that might be enough today in this one. Christian Walker is worth a mention. He's crushing it. 3 homers in the last 2 days for the D-backs. But yeah, first 500 for me, Munaf.
Yeah, I agree about the under here as well. Jojo Gray was a guy that we were fading last year, at least when he was at home. But man, he's looking really good so far this season. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of his starts this season. Merrill Kelly had a really good start last year against the Nationals. I think it was either 1 run he gave up or it was he threw shutout innings. Let me double check here. Yeah, 6 innings he pitched last year, only out 1 earned run. So I think the offenses will be or we'll see a lack of runs here. So I agree about what Dylan said about the under in this game. So under for me as well.
Okay, so team right for a low scoring game there. 9:40 Eastern first pitch. LA Dodgers at the San Diego Padres, the 2 slightly underperforming teams. We've got Clayton Kershaw, left-handed pitcher, going for the Dodgers. We've got Joe Musgrove pitching for the San Diego Padres. Lines are -133 for the Dodgers with Kershaw, even money, +100. Joe Musgrove, total set at 7.5 for Munaf.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of shocked to see the numbers that Kershaw has put up so far this season. 5-1 with a 1.89 ERA. He's only allowed 8 earned runs in 38 innings pitched thus far this season. At home, over his last 3 starts, 3-0 with a 0.45 ERA, 20 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. And again, those are the same numbers that he's had at home so far this season as well. He's faced the Cardinals, the Mets, and the Diamondbacks at home thus far this season. And again, he looks like he's in Cy Young form right now for the Dodgers. Joe Musgrove gets a start here for the Padres. Third start of the year. I think we got to throw the numbers of what he did against the Giants out the window, just because it was in altitude, it was in Mexico City. And he gave up 7 earned runs. So I'm not even going to count that against him. But the 2 things that stuck out to me is the history that these 2 pitchers have against the opposing team. So Clayton Kershaw against the Padres in his entire career, I'll quickly roll this off to you. So he's 23-9 with a 2.03 ERA in his career against the Padres. And I'll filter this down to about 2020 because obviously lineups change and things like that. He's 2-3 with a 2.41 ERA. So he's been really good consistently throughout his career. Now, Joe Musgrove against the Dodgers in his career hasn't recorded a win yet. He's 0-6 with a 4.04 ERA. Since 2021, I believe he's faced this team 6 times, and he's 0-3 with a 3.34 ERA. So I'm going to back the better pitcher here in Clayton Kershaw, who's just had great history against the Padres. The offense is coming alive a little bit as well for the Dodgers as well. So I'm going to go with the Dodgers money line here against the Padres.
The level of disrespect Munaf's getting in the comment section is really perked me up. So I'm here for all of that. Keep that up, boys. Really enjoying that. Dylan, LA Dodgers at the Padres.
Yeah, same way. Excuse me. I'm going to be on the Dodgers here, money line -120. I made him a -135 favorite. I agree with Munaf. Kershaw's been fantastic. I really didn't expect him to be this good, but got to give credit to him. And I just don't understand the line. I got to back him here. The offense, they've really turned it around this past week, coming off 2 straight sweeps, playing really good baseball with their ace on the mound. I think this is a good spot for them. I'll take the Dodgers here as well.
I came down on the other side of this one. Little shout out to Max Muncy. He is now the home run leader in MLB. But I thought Kershaw's looked vulnerable on the road. And I was happy to take Musgrove here in a spot. Put a line through that last performance, like Munaf says. But the Padres, for me, at even money, +100, looked backable. Next up, we have the penultimate game on the card. Is a 10:10 Eastern first pitch between the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. Christian Javier goes for Houston, and Luis Castillo takes the ball for Seattle. Houston plus 132. Seattle are minus 145. The total is set at 7. Christian Javier, 2-1 record with a 3.48 ERA. He's been consistent, but he has been just below top class, I would say. He's not giving up many hits, though, so I think hopefully it can go okay. Castillo's been fine as well, and neither lineup's going too well, actually, both scuffling along a little bit. And I can see this being a bit of a pitching duel, a bit of a slow burn. I've had this feeling about Houston all week, actually. I kept calling them they're going to win or lose games 4-3, 4-2, that kind of stuff. So exactly the same. The total's low. I wouldn't mind another half a run on this. 7.5 would make me feel good. I could probably find it if I shop around. But yeah, I'll take the under 7 for your Houston Astros, Munaf.
Yeah, I agree with you. Castillo has been pretty decent so far this season. Can't argue against that. The offense has just really been inconsistent for the Astros. I really think they're missing Jose Altuve right now. I think they should be getting him back sooner rather than later. He did start some baseball activities, so that's the latest report I did read. Also, Michael Brantley should be back soon as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be a tight AL West battle here. I don't want to say the word revenge because, Malcolm's going to throw a fit, but maybe the Mariners are looking at a little bit of revenge against the Astros after they kicked them out of the playoffs last season. So give me the under as well here, Mel.
Okay. Dylan's copping it now with the comments. Everyone's jumped off Munaf and started piling on Dylan. Dylan, what do you think of this Houston at Seattle game?
I don't understand any of it because
neither do I. It's just fun. I'm just assuming it's funny. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
As long as they're leaving me alone, I'm all for it. Just crack on.
Yeah, I thought this one was honestly the hardest game to handicap. I did make the Mariners a minus 125 favorite, so if anything, I gotta go dog or pass here. I really like both pitch. Maybe it was 5 under, maybe under 7. I set my total at 6.8. I just think both pitchers are going to have success against these lineups. Neither offense is going to overpower you. I agree. I think they're hurting right now without Jose Altuve. So, yeah, it's either Astros or first 5 under. That's kind of how I was feeling towards this game.
Munaf, that last comment is an absolute disgrace, by the way. I assume it was you. Can't type and talk at the same time, so it had to be you.
Yeah,
I could do both.
You can't. 10:15 Eastern first pitch is the Milwaukee Brewers at the San Francisco Giants. This is the last game, you'd be pleased to hear. Corbin Burns pitches for the Brewers and Sean Manaea, left-handed pitcher for the Giants. Minus 133 on the Brew Crew. Even money plus 100 for the Giants. Total it's 7.5. Dylan, finish us off.
Yeah, let's end it with another over. I was able to grab a 7.5 over. Total's around 8 now. Still like the over. I made my total 8.3. Basically fading Sean Manaea in this spot. He's only gone past the 4th inning 1 time this season. 16 runs in 18 innings. I just think this Brew Crew is going to take advantage of him. I think it's a good spot for them in this lineup. Coming off a 3-game skid, maybe get back on the winning side of things. Going to be a windy night in the Bay Area, so 14-mile-an-hour winds blowing out over there. I'll take the over here.
Okay, loads of totals for Dylan tonight. He is the numbers guy on the Rockford lines. Munaf, Brewers at Giants.
Yeah, I'll lean with the Brewers here. Corbin Burns against the Giants in his career has been really good. 2-0 with a 1.03 ERA in his last 5 appearances against the Giants. He's had 9 or more strikeouts in 4 of the last 5 starts against the Giants as well. He's been in double-digit strikeouts in the last 3 starts last season against the Giants. He had 11 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, and 14 strikeouts. So if you want to take a look at a strikeout prop tomorrow for Corbin Burns, I know that the Giants have been one of the teams against right-handed pitching that has one of the highest strikeout percentages in the entire league. They're actually number 3 with a 26.2 team strikeout percentage this season. And then if we filter that down to the last 14 days, they are improving a little bit, but they're still top 7 in the entire league. So I think Corbin Burns can go well here. I like the Brewers. I like the Brewers team total over and like Corbin Burns strikeouts as well.
Yeah, completely agree with you, Munaf. I love the Brewers in this spot. I'm way out on Manaea. Way out. I think I'm probably labored the point. when we've handicapped him over the last 2 or 3 weeks. He should be in the bullpen. But yeah, therefore, Burns, coupled with the fact that I'm out on Minaya, makes me like the Brewers at a price of -133. Nothing wrong with that price. And in fact, I will crack straight on into the lock and dog because that is going to be my lock. I like the Brewers tomorrow, price of -133. I'd have this a lot shorter, near a -150. So yeah, give me Corbin Burns to take down Minaya. And for my dog, I've just scribbled one out and wrote another one down. I'm probably going to regret that. I initially had Detroit written down plus 200. However, I might be pushing my luck because they've done me 3 favors in the last 24 hours. So I'm going to pivot to Kansas City Royals on the run line. That, you see, everything about Oakland, that -21 run differential in the last 8 games. Muller's numbers are horrible. And I think Keller can go okay back at home. So KC are kind of a legit MLB team, even though they're a bad one. Oakland aren't. So yeah, so I'll take KCR as my dog. Munaf, what do you have?
All right, for my lock, I am gonna go with give me the Dodgers -125 with Clayton Kershaw on the mound. I think that he can continue playing well or pitching well for the Dodgers. Like I mentioned, he has really good history against the Padres as well. And Joe Musgrove hasn't been able to record a win against the Dodgers in his career yet. So at this price of -125, where the bats have also come along well for the Dodgers, I'll take the Dodgers on the money line -125. For my dog, that's at a minus price now. I was going to go with the Braves run line. Let's go to the Blue Jays tomorrow. Yeah, Blue Jays -1.5 plus 110 on the run line against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chris Bassett last season was fantastic against his Pirates team. I know he's been a little bit up and down so far this season, but I think the bats can really carry against Rich Hill here on Friday. So I'll go Blue Jays -1.5 plus 110. I also did like the Brewers on the run line as well, -1.5 at plus 120. But officially, Blue Jays run line.
Okay. Dylan.
All right, lock. I'm going to go total. I've mostly done totals today on the show. I'm going to go Nationals D-backs under 8.5. You could get that at even money right now. I think 2 good pitchers in Merrill Kelly and JoJo Gray. I just think we see a pitcher's duel in this one. So going to go under here, 8.5 for my lock. And for my dog, I do like the Tigers, but I'm going to go the run line. I think you guys convinced me. First game, Cubs -1.5 at plus 135. I think that's tremendous odds for the Cubs right now. So going to totally fade Edward Cabrera here on the road. He has over a 6 ERA. I don't think this is a good spot for the Marlins. The Cubs are a top 5 offense. So I'll take the Cubs on the run line plus 135 as my dog.
Yeah, that's a nice pick, mate. So that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, has got us to the end of the show. It always amazing. There's always like 3 or 4 people tune in for the last 30 seconds of the show. That happens on the Premier League show as well. So welcome, everyone. We're about to say bye. I really enjoyed that. That was lots of fun. Thanks, everyone who's joined us and chirped in the comments. That's made me giggle because I've had a busy day today. And this has just given me a little bit of daylight in my little mind. So, Munaf, anything you need to tell us before we go?
Josh commenting we need to get paid $100 an hour.
I love that comment.
Yes. If you could send that to Sean.
That's not enough for me to even deal with Malcolm anyway. So I need to add a 0 to the end of that. Not sure if somebody caught the photo there or not. I'm not going to put Malcolm on the spot right now because I do have that picture.
What photo?
I mean, I don't want to embarrass Mal right now. I think only Serial saw it. But I'll show it to you offline. But no, look, if you haven't left us a rating and review, whether you listen on Spotify, whether it's Apple, please go and do so. It really helps out the show. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel for MLB Gambling Podcast, go and do so. And again, Shady Rays, if you want to win $500, check them out. 50% off when you use promo code SGPN. I got myself a pair. I got the missus a pair for herself as well. Some cool shades. Again, in the month of May, if you buy it, use that promo code, upload your receipt on the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady. You get entered to win 500 big ones. So definitely get in there.
Yes, agree. Dylan?
Company, man, I love it. I saw the picture of you posting your sunglasses for your wife and yourself. Those are nice. My question with me, I have glasses. Do they come prescription? Because I can't fucking see.
I don't have that problem. I have
come on.
I have 20/20. That's something you may need to take up with Shady Rays.
Oh my God. If that's the case, I mean, everyone has to go over because I was looking at the website and they have really nice sunglasses, but
they do. There's some nice designs, I'll say.
Your boy's blind. I need some prescription ones. So, but yeah.
I think physically from the eyes up, I'm in great condition. I can see for miles and my hair's beautiful. From there down, I've got a body like a dropped lasagna. I'm a right mess. But yeah, the top like 5% of me, incredible condition. Yeah, I would advise you. I've carried this network on my shoulders today. Yeah, I've got the Kentucky Derby. Go to the website, find the article, go and listen to the podcast, go and listen to the Premier League podcast. Loads of winners. I mean, winners coming out of our ears on there. And the MLB tonight. So I appreciate all of your help. Build me a statue, etc. Good luck with all your bets. Myself and Noah will be back tomorrow with some variety of a Friday Lockdog Total episode. And until then, we'll see you down the road. Cheers.